32 years ago, whatever it was.
There you go. The new letters are not the same ones from back in the day. It's a different font now. The hoops court inside will be rebranded to read Delta Center come October. A red flag in the debt ceiling fight. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, a credit ratings agency today putting the U.S. credit on watch for possible downgrade. ABC News business correspondent Alexis Christopher says that raises the stakes in Washington.
This warning from Fitch should really renew the sense of urgency for lawmakers to come up with a deal.
President Biden reiterating today there will be no default on the national debt.
I made clear time and again defaulting on our national debt is not an option. The American people deserve to know that the Social Security payments will be there and that economic progress will be made, and we're going to continue to make it.
The president says he and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy are making progress, and he expects they'll get a deal over the finish line. The founder of the Oath Keepers, Stuart Rhodes, today sentenced to 18 years in prison for orchestrating the January 6th storming of the Capitol. His lawyer, James Lee Bright, speaking to reporters after that sentencing.
I anticipated, not that I agree with the sentence, but I anticipated much more.
The sentence, the longest so far in punishments for those found guilty of planning or participating in the attack. France banning some short-haul domestic flights. That move made to encourage more travelers to take rail service and cut carbon emissions. Travel industry analyst Henry Hartfeld says the move is not an alternative in the U.S.
Aside from the Boston, New York, D.C. corridor where Amtrak operates its Acela trains, we don't have any degree of high-frequency rail service.
But he says airlines in the U.S. are investing in sustainable fuel and looking at more fuel-efficient, cleaner-burning planes. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
An Idaho couple has won a Supreme Court victory over the Environmental Protection Agency. They fought for their right to build on their private property, even though the EPA claimed that it was protected wetlands. The decision could have an impact across the country, and we get details from KSL News Radio's Hugo Ricard-Bell.
The U.S. Farm Bureau Federation has also claimed the ruling as a win for them, stating that EPA clearly overstepped its authority and the decision respects private property rights. On the other hand, the EPA are disappointed because it erodes long-standing clean water protections, but they will continue to uphold their responsibility to preserve the nation's waters.
Ultimately, the ruling means the EPA's ability to regulate wetlands under the Clean Water Act has been cut back. KSL News Time 3:04. Weather experts are out with a flood watch for the Duchesne River near Mighton, which is close to Roosevelt. Officials say to expect buildings and yards along the river to be at risk for minor flood damage. Be on the lookout for deer and other wildlife near the roads this weekend. Here's KSL News Radio's Adam Small.
Well, it's not the busiest time of year for deer-related crashes. They are out and about. In fact, authorities say a deer in the road played a big part in a fatal crash on I-15 in Far West yesterday. Faith Eaton-Jolly with the Division of Wildlife Resources says right now deer are trying to get back up to higher elevations with the snow melting.
There is still some of that movement that's taking place, and so it's not totally uncommon for people to still see deer on the road this time of year, or possibly a dead deer on the side of the road.
Faith says keep a close eye out in wooded areas and those with wildlife crossing signs, as well as around sunrise and sunset. If you are approaching an animal on the road, do your best to stop, but don't swerve. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time 3:05. It's the getaway. We have triple team traffic all afternoon long. First look right now with Ricky Meese. How are we doing?
It was pretty bumpy earlier. Right now, things have calmed down, at least for the time being. Rain came through, slowed down the drive on I-15 in Murray and Midville, and we have an accident I-80 at State Street. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Ricky, I mean, sometimes I talk about my real life away from here. Do you want a real glimpse into my life?
Sure.
Stay right here. My minute of news is next.
Do you know how to tell if a clogged drain is something to worry about or not? What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and I understand it's annoying and inconvenient, but sometimes a clogged drain can be a sign there's a more serious issue with your sewer main line. If the drains in the lowest level of your home aren't draining, or you flush a toilet and it comes up somewhere else like a shower or a floor drain, I'm urging you to look at this as more than just an annoyance. The last thing I want you to experience is a sewer backup. If you're a homeowner experiencing any of these issues, the first step would be to snake the line to see if it's just a blockage, which one of our drain techs can do for only $29. Yep, you heard that right. Any Hour Services will snake any drain line with normal access for only $29. Sinks, showers, tubs, toilets, floor drains, laundry drains, even that sewer main line that connects to the city. We'll snake any line for just $29. For help with your drain issues, call Any Hour Services at 801-443-7700. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. Opening a My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal record and interactive tools tailored for you. You can see if you are eligible to receive benefits, view spousal benefit estimates, and compare retirement benefit estimates at different ages or dates when you want to start receiving benefits. Already receiving benefits? Use your account to change your address, set up or change direct deposit, get a proof of income letter, and more. In most states, you can also request a replacement Social Security card. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. What you're listening to is this. I say what you're listening to is the sound of me saving the U.S. economy from recession. Lowe's and Home Depot both say Americans have cut back severely on home improvement projects. People who work from home are going back to the office, so that remodel remains a dream. Turning that spare bedroom into a magnificent home office with all the perks, not happening. With inflation acting like a wrecking ball on family budgets, so I decided to step up and save the economy. Right now, what you're listening to is a couple of guys directly above my home office, a tireless work crew sweltering in the sunshine. Up on the roof. And it's hot up there. Up on the roof. Yes, I'm trying to record this minute as the guys up there are giving us a new roof, which basically means they take your bank account and turn it into shingles. And along the way, you experience pure chaos. Cowering dogs unable to figure out what's going on up there as they endlessly whimper in fear, then bark to make it stop. But it does not stop. Not for a second. Not for a minute of news. So here we are, listening to the percussive pounding by people completely impervious to the heat. For these guys, by afternoon, it feels like the roof is on fire. As the sun sears and the roof bakes, these men sweat and struggle, slaking their thirst with a slurp of water, and with barely a break, they get back to work helping me save the U.S. economy. It ain't cheap, but that's what happens when prices go through the roof. The roof is on... Oh, never mind.
Let's make some noise! Let's make some noise! Come on! Jeff Caplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
And there's my real life. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes. We're brought to you by Granite Credit Union, helping members since 1935. Here is Ricky Meese.
The rain, well, it comes and goes, and when it comes, we see the slowdowns. But right now, on the southbound drive of I-15, it is crash-free. We have had traffic already showing up. It's busy from downtown to Murray, but it starts to slow down in Murray at 53rd South, almost to 90th South. Sandy, northbound I-15, heavy and slow going through South Salt Lake, starting prior to 3300 South. And we're clear on the rest of your Salt Lake County freeways. The accident we had, I-80, between 7th and State Street has cleared. Mark?
It's a bit of a mess on Pioneer Crossing this afternoon. UDOT jam cam shot at 2300 West Saratoga Road shows the heavy delays. Another hot spot this afternoon in Utah County is University Parkway, headed from I-15 freeway to State Street at Orem. I-15 looks pretty good between Point of the Mountain and Payson. Steve?
And we have good speeds, dry roads, and we're crash-free. Main flow of northbound 15 between downtown Salt Lake and Willard Bay right now. You have a crash on the northbound 15 off-ramp at 1500 South and Woods Cross on the right side there. Got the right lane closed. Crash in Roy, northbound 1900 West at 6000 South, right lane closed there. And southbound Foothill getting busy from 21st South to the I-80 ramps. Update your kitchen with Durden's Appliance, where they meet any competitor's price. Visit Durdens.com or on 5th South and Bountiful. Durden's, brand you know, prices you love. Steve Carlson at the KSL Traffic Center.
The unsettled afternoons continue. Chance for afternoon storms today, high of 82. Overnight lows, upper 50s with partly cloudy skies. Into tomorrow, how about a degree cooler, 81 the high, with a chance for scattered afternoon storms. Those storms continue into Saturday afternoon. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Thunder is rumbling, 72 degrees in Salt Lake City. You know, I can tell the traffic's going to be bad. You know, heading into a holiday, the number of boats and the number of trailers on I-15, and I've been seeing them.
Value for your money and $1,000 off any roof replacement. That's the IWC advantage. IWC, Intermountain West Contractors, delivers on the things most important to you when it comes time to replace your roof. There could be a dozen different reasons why your roof needs replacement, but just one answer to the problem: IWC. With IWC, you get quality because roof replacement is their specialty, and each job comes complete with the best warranties from the most trusted roofing material manufacturer in America. You get speed because IWC understands your time is valuable. In most cases, they can replace an entire roof in just one day. And with IWC, there's the value of knowing they use top-tier quality materials in every installation and deliver it all at an affordable price. And now, for a limited time, save $1,000 on a roof replacement project. Visit IWCroofing.com or call 801-232-5690. That's 801-232-5690.
With our roots in northern Utah, Holy Cross Hospital has a legacy of caring to help every person be whole and healthy. Find us at 5 Holy Cross Hospital locations and more than 45 clinics along the Wasatch Front. Learn more at holycrossutah.org.
At Holy Cross Hospital, we're honored to carry the legacy of our namesake and equally honored to care for northern Utah's vibrant communities. Find us at 5 Holy Cross Hospital locations and more than 45 clinics along the Wasatch Front. Learn more at holycrossutah.org.
Maytag month has got it going on. It's all you want with the savings all month long. Baby, can't you see? Maytag month is all you need. You know you can't go wrong when Maytag month is going on.
Upgrade to the performance you need on all Maytag major appliances during May is Maytag month, happening all month long.
Maytag month is going on.
It may be summer, but the news isn't slowing down this year.
Ankle deep water at Wasatch Hall.
Guilty on all charges. State leaders going into a special session.
Make KSL your go-to each morning this summer. Utah's Morning News with Tim and Amanda starts at 5. We talk through the biggest stories with Dave and Dejanovic at 9 and Boyd Matheson at 1. Then drive home with key news updates with Jeff Caplan from 3 to 7. Your all-summer companion for news. KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time, 3:15. The 3 things you need to know this hour first.
Debt ceiling discussions in Washington could impact people using food stamps here in Utah. Some Republicans want to raise an age requirement to work from 50 to 56 years old. I'm KSL News Radio's Amy Kobe.
Second, President Biden says he's making progress toward an agreement to raise the debt ceiling in his conversations with the House Speaker. More from ABC in just a moment. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
We do have traffic filling in and slowing down early for your drive home. Southbound I-15, Murray and Midvale on the way to Sandy. If you're making your way northbound on I-15, you're good to go from downtown all the way to Hill Air Force Base. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Afternoon thunderstorms today with a high of 82. I'm Matt Johnson.
There's thunder being heard around Salt Lake City, 72 degrees now. KSL's top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor of Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. House lawmakers have officially left Washington for the Memorial Day recess, but top negotiators are still scrambling to reach a deal to raise the debt ceiling. Today, President Biden stressed default is not an option.
The only way to move forward is with a bipartisan agreement, and I believe we'll come to an agreement that allows us to move forward and that protects the hardworking Americans of this country.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy placed the blame for America's debt directly on Democrats.
When the Democrats took the majority, they are now spending more than any time in our history, and our debt is higher than at any time in our history.
Lawmakers were told that they would need to return to Washington within 24 hours if an agreement is reached. But if there's no deal, the U.S. could default on its loans as early as June 1st. The founder of the Oath Keepers sentenced to 18 years in prison for his role in the January 6th attack. ABC's Alex Mallon has more from Washington.
Stuart Rhodes is the founder of the Oath Keepers. He founded that group back in 2009. It became one of the largest militia movements in the country over the past decade. But after the 2020 election, the Oath Keepers became more radicalized because Rhodes basically took to social media and encouraged his followers to reject President Biden's election.
Today's sentence is the longest handed down in connection to the Capitol riot. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster has signed the abortion bill into law, restricting the procedure at 6 weeks of pregnancy. There are exceptions, including rape and incest, up to 12 weeks, but the doctor must share the woman's contact information with the local sheriff. There are now at least 16 states that have banned nearly all abortions. A historic nomination at the White House today. Here's President Biden.
I have the honor of introducing my nominee to be the next chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Charles Q. Brown, Jr.
If confirmed, the four-star general would become the second black man to hold the position of Joint Chiefs Chair. The first was the late General Colin Powell. You're listening to ABC News.
With summer coming, everyone knows Memorial Day's the best time of the year to get a Bullfrog spa. Right now, you'll save up to $5,000 off MSRP on select models, plus get a free water care upgrade and special financing for 24 months on our energy-efficient and customizable hot tubs. Sale ends Memorial Day, so don't miss out on the best deal of the year on a beautiful Bullfrog spa. Find your nearby Bullfrog Factory store at bullfrogfactorystores.com.
Bullfrog Spas. Peaceful body, peaceful mind, peaceful home.
Advanced Window Products. Affordable windows from their factory to your front door in 8 weeks. Guaranteed. 801-850-9100 or advancedwindowsusa.com.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
KSL News Time 3:19. Traffic and weather together were brought to you by Granite Credit Union, helping members since 1935. Ricky, this is the getaway. Does that make this summer?
Oh, I hope so. I'm ready. Bring it on. Bring it on. I'm ready for the sunshine. Right now, we are seeing busy traffic on I-15, and it could be either direction in Salt Lake County, but it's only on the southbound side where we're seeing traffic slow down from Murray to 90th South Sandy. The rest of your Salt Lake County freeway is not too bad. Some reduced speeds in the construction zone northbound on the East Belt going through Holiday, and busy and maybe not quite running at the full limit eastbound on I-80 from Bangerter to the West Belt. Mark?
Seeing a first little bit of backup southbound Mountain View hanging from SR 201 down to 3500 Southwest Valley. Another hot spot would be in Utah County on University Parkway. It's a little heavy. Headed freeway to State Street and Orem, but right now still don't have any major problems and good KSL travel times on I-15 in Utah County. Steve?
Well, so far, no complaints. I-15 rolling at the full speed limit. No issues, both north and southbound between Salt Lake and South Willard. Southbound 89 in South Weber, a little busy coming down the hill there through Uinta to I-84. And southbound Foothill, a little busy at 21st South. Plan for heavy holiday traffic this Memorial Day weekend. Delays up to 20 minutes are expected on I-15 in Salt Lake County and US 6 in Spanish Fork Canyon, so allow extra time. Steve Carlson at the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast, 82 today with a chance for thunderstorms. We'll do it again on repeat, not only tomorrow, but again on Saturday, high of 79. Partly cloudy skies and drier air moves in for Sunday, 81, 83 on Memorial Day. How about partly cloudy skies persisting into next Tuesday and Wednesday, highs in the mid-80s. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
72 degrees. We have some thunder. It's the same cell we saw yesterday and the day before over the Great Salt Lake, heading toward Davis County and Salt Lake City. So stand by. We may have some weather ahead. Right now, again, 72 degrees. It's 3:21. We'll check the market close in just a moment.
Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
She'll make you take your clothes off and go dancing in the rain. She'll make you live a crazy life, or she'll take away your pain like a bullet to your brain. Upside, inside out, she's living la vida loca. She'll push and pull you down, living la vida loca. Her lips are devil red.
Everything's changing so fast these days, and that's a great thing. Back in my day, we were lucky if we could get one video to load on a desktop computer, but now there's the Xfinity 10G network. That means the fastest internet with faster speeds rolling out every day, and internet that can power a house full of devices with ultra-low lag. So while one person streams a movie from their room, another can play video games in the basement, while another TikToks in the kitchen. It's the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity. The future starts now. Through July 21st, new customers can get 1 gig internet on the Xfinity 10G network, plus get Xfi Complete with unlimited data and Wi-Fi equipment included for just $30 a month for 2 years with no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data. Go to xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Gig Wi-Fi requires gig internet and Xfi Gateway. Actual speeds vary.
You know how they always used to ask you in grade school, what do you want to be when you grow up? I bet I'm the only kid who ever stood proud and said, I want to be a rain gutter or siding installer. Jim Jr. here with RGS Exteriors, and man, I can still remember all those wannabe astronauts and quarterbacks looking at me like I was an idiot. Who would want to install rain gutters or siding? Somebody who is a fourth generation in business. That's who. My great-grandfather, T.R. Brown, started the company in the 50s. Then my grandfather took over from him, then my dad, Tim Sr., and now I've been at the helm since 2005. Every day I wake up and think, man, I'm living the dream. And now my own kids are starting to work in the business too. 5 generations. If you want gutters, siding, windows, or any exteriors on your home, and a company that really cares deep down to our souls, give RGS a call. 801-280-3110 or find us online, rgsutah.com. That's rgsutah.com. 801-280-3110, rgsutah.com.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for youth.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals into your body.
And nicotine, which can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media.
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping.
Because when you talk, they hear you.
Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Ah, Memorial Day, the unofficial start of summer. This Thursday and Friday, we're staffing up with extra traffic reporters from noon to 7, so you can cruise without the worry. Extra traffic coverage starting at noon Thursday and Friday on KSL News Radio.
We're watching Utah's Money at KSL following a test flight with company staff this morning. Virgin Galactic is ready to take paying customers to the edge of space. Today's almost space flight clears the way for commercial passengers starting next month. They've already sold 800 seats at a price tag of $450,000 a ticket. It's Circle K Fuel Day. You know what that means? Between 4 and 7 this afternoon, you get a discount of 40 cents a gallon at all 16 Circle K locations in Utah. They're doing this all over the country today only, 4 to 7 p.m. heading into the holiday weekend. If you have weekend barbecue plans, there's good and bad news. Beef prices are down from last year, but the price of condiments and buns is up. Data Assembly is a company that looks at these things. They say ketchup prices are up 28% since last year. Mustard and bread products are up an average 13%. Wall Street today, the Dow was down 35 points. The S&P was up 36, and the NASDAQ was up 213 points. That's a gain of 1.7%. In supporting Ukraine and enduring high energy costs, Germany is now slipping into a recession.
Germany, the industrial engine of Europe and largest net contributor country in the EU, is paying a huge cost for going along with the U.S.-led sanctions against Russia. And the pain for Germans is deeper and more pronounced than, say, American consumers are facing. With German GDP down again now for the first quarter, Europe's biggest economy is struggling. It's a sign that other European states may soon feel the same chill. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
I'm Dave Cawley, investigative journalist and host of the podcast Cold. In October of 1985, a woman named Cherie Warren left work at a busy Salt Lake City office
to meet her estranged husband at a downtown auto dealership.
She never made it home. Cherie's car surfaced weeks later in Las Vegas.
In the parking lot of a hotel casino.
No one knows how it got there.
Strange. It was strange.
Both Cherie's estranged husband and her boyfriend raised suspicion for investigators.
I kind of thought that he might have done something.
But no arrests were ever made. In Cold Season 3, we dig into double lives, make new connections in the case, and examine the difficulty raised by reasonable doubt.
We want answers just as much as anyone else.
They have creeps like that now too, so nothing's changed.
That's the new Cold Season 3, The Search for Cherie. Now available anywhere you get your podcasts.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop texts, stopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Traffic and weather together on the 9s are brought to you by Granite Credit Union, helping members since 1935. Here's Ricky Meese.
Slowdowns not too bad for now. Southbound I-15, 4500 south to 90th south. Crash-free on the rest of your Salt Lake County freeways and main secondaries. A little bit of slowing in the construction zone. Northbound on I-215's East Belt. Mark?
A little lighter than normal for the early rush out SR 36 headed from Stansbury Park, Mountain View, and Bangor in West Valley. Don't see any Redwood Road delays coming down Bluffdale. And in fact, I-15 so far, pretty good. Time to be driving it. No major problems in Utah County. Steve.
Yeah, pretty quiet on the north end as well. Northbound 15 rolling steady and smooth. No issues leaving from downtown Salt Lake through Davis County. Got a few slowdowns in Marriott-Slaterville, however. Looks like a few people getting out of town. North and southbound 89, both busy approaching the I-84 ramp. Southbound Harrison Boulevard also packed in approaching Highway 89. Save big at the huge Two Brothers Mattress Memorial Day sale happening now on all Serta mattresses. Visit one of the Two Brothers Mattress locations or at twobrothersmattress.com. Two Brothers Mattress. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
Here we go again. Look for a high of 82 degrees, sunny for the first half, then clouds and thunderstorms by afternoon. Overnight lows, upper 50s, partly cloudy. Tomorrow, 81 and a chance for afternoon storms. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
73, mostly cloudy in Ogden, bright sunshine. In Provo, and 76 degrees. St. George, partly cloudy. They're at 86.
You're listening to Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, 3:30 at KSL. Jeff Caplan here, 72 degrees, thunderstorms approaching Salt Lake. KSL's top story, a Layton man could face the death penalty after the murder of his wife and parents last week. He's been charged with 3 counts of aggravated murder. And KSL News Radio's Hugo Ricard-Bell has details.
34-year-old Jeremy Bailey is accused of shooting his wife and her parents to death at his home in Layton last week. Police say he went to the store to buy more ammunition after the triple murder and then posted about what he had done using his late wife's Facebook before calling 911. In addition, he's also charged with 3 counts of torture of a companion animal. He could face the death penalty should the prosecution file for it in 60 days. Hugo Ricard-Bell, KSL News Radio.
A man already convicted on child pornography charges has been arrested again. This time, 42-year-old Joshua Tysco of South Salt Lake was booked into Salt Lake County Jail for possession of a child sex doll. The doll only became a crime this past year when the legislature approved the measure without a single lawmaker opposing it. The last-minute negotiations over the debt ceiling are making military leaders nervous. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, there are only 7 days left until the U.S. could default on its loan obligations. At a news conference on military aid to Ukraine, General Mark Milley says that he believes the U.S. national security interests could be impacted.
Paying troops, the morale of troops, weapon systems, contracts, all of that would be impacted. Readiness clearly would be impacted, so our large-scale exercises that we do at various training centers would probably either slow down or come to a halt.
Meantime, a historic nomination announced today. President Biden tapping General C.Q. Brown to be the next chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. That would make him the second African-American Joint Chiefs chairman after the late Colin Powell. Former State Department official Mick Mulroy is an ABC contributor.
And I know it's shared by all of my colleagues. He is a very well-respected, highly experienced and decorated Air Force general and is the absolute right person for the job.
General Brown made headlines in 2020 when he spoke about the death of George Floyd 3 years ago today. The U.S. is working with other nations to provide training for Ukrainian forces on U.S.-made F-16 fighter jets. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says Ukrainians have momentum in some key areas, and the fighter jet training will help bolster the momentum.
Hopefully, it will put the Ukrainians in a good place to be able to change the dynamics on the battlefield.
The Pentagon says it will take some time for the Ukrainians to build up a sizable air force. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
Negotiations continuing on the debt ceiling in Washington could mean possible changes for food stamps. KSL News Radio's Amy Kobabe explains.
Some congressional Republicans want to change work requirements for those getting food stamps or SNAP benefits. Right now, able-bodied adults under 50 years old have to work at least 20 hours a week to get benefits if they don't have any dependents. That age could rise, though, to 56. This comes after pandemic-era benefits were also recently phased out.
In Utah, somebody working 20 hours per week can receive SNAP benefits for 3 months every 3 years. The Salt Lake City homeless population is getting help from Weber County high school students.
Construction classes in the Weber School District are building and selling tiny homes to the Other Side Village, a neighborhood providing affordable housing to Utahns coming out of homelessness.
They were a part of not only, the framing part, but also they were learning electrical and plumbing and finish work and all of those things. And they could see it all come to fruition.
Director of Career and Technical Education for the district, Rod Belknap, says students are excited about coming to school, saying their work benefit their community. Alexandria Bonilla, KSL News Radio.
There's a shortage of lifeguards around the country this summer, but Callista Pearson from Salt Lake County Parks and Recreation says it's not a big problem here.
We have almost normally 1,200 lifeguards throughout the year or for the summer season. Right now, we're only short 160 lifeguards, and that's across 19 different pools throughout the county.
Pearson says her department is still hiring for a number of summer recreation jobs. KSL News Time 3:35 today begins the 100-day countdown till BYU plays their first football game as a member of the Big 12. KSL BYU insider Mitch Harper joined Utah's Morning News today. He says the excitement is building.
There's a lot of potential for BYU to be a real solid member of this conference that's going to look to evolve after Texas and Oklahoma move on next year.
Mitch will be filing reports for us right up until the first game kicks off September 2nd. You're going to get an inside look from players and coaches as they get set for their first season in a Power 5 conference. You'll hear reports on Utah's Morning News and here on Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News and also at KSLSports.com. 3:35 now. It's time for First Look Traffic. Everybody's heading out. Here's Ricky Meese.
You need to watch for debris in the road eastbound on the 21st South Freeway at the I-215 junction. That's the West Belt. It's on the ramp going to get to the northbound side of I-215, and it is blocking a left lane of traffic. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Tina Turner, in her own words, next.
Picture this, a warm summer evening, the sun setting behind the mountains, blankets being laid out on the cool grass, and world-class music. It's the Utah Symphony's Deer Valley Music Festival, and you're invited to escape into the music. With 12 concerts at Snow Park Amphitheater featuring country pop sensation LeAnn Rimes, the movie music of John Williams, alt rocker Ben Folds, and the Beach Boys. Tickets are on sale now at DeerValleyMusicFestival.org. The sun is hanging in the sky ready to set. Blankets are spreading out across the cool grass. A slight mountain breeze can be felt as picnic baskets begin to open. It's the Utah Symphony's Deer Valley Music Festival, and you're invited to escape into the music. With 12 amazing concerts at Snow Park Amphitheater featuring hit headliner artists and everything from classical to classic rock, there's something just for you. Tickets are on sale now and going fast at DeerValleyMusicFestival.org.
Tim Hughes back with my friends at Replenish Landscape Garden Products. Of course, that is Greg and Mike, and as much as we talk about Replenish, and it is in the name of the company, Greg, there are so many other things you guys provide for people that are looking to put some hardscape areas into their yard.
We have a number of different barks in different sizes and different grades that work great as a ground cover. We also have the colored wood mulches and a variety of rock products.
One of the things I've learned about you, Mike, through the years is that you're always looking for new products.
We've got great new products coming in this year, our Mountain Rose rock and Caribou rock as well. Those are beautiful rocks that you can add to your landscaping, make your yard look beautiful.
So if this is the year that you have decided you are going to finally rip that strip and save yourself some water, this is the great time to do it at Replenish Landscape Garden Products. Let me tell you where to find them. 4660 South, 200 West in Murray. You'll find them online at replenishcompost.com or give them a call today, 801-262-5142. Replenish. It's good stuff.
Boyd Matheson helps you to think about the news differently.
I hope they can get to the long game of what do we really need to do for the betterment of the country.
Join an elevated conversation. Inside sources from 1 to 3. Then Jeff Caplan and his Minute of News on the drive home on KSL News Radio.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. With the passing of Tina Turner, a fascinating 60 Minutes piece about her life went viral the other day. Back in 1997, Mike Wallace visited Tina Turner at her home in France.
I had no idea that you were such a huge star in Europe.
No one in America knows that. People say, when are you going to go to Vegas? I was there already. Yeah. Success in America, nothing lasts very long. Europe is different.
How American are you?
Still very much American. I'm paying American taxes. All of my businesses run from America still.
But in
my heart?
Yeah.
I don't think I will go back home.
Her reasons are many and well documented over the years. There's the abusive marriage to Ike that later led her to get plastic surgery.
I have had basically my face bashed in, and I never did anything about it. And then I started to have problems with my sinuses, and I found that the whole...
You busted your nose?
Yes, many times. Damaged to a point that it started to heal, and the healing process started to interfere with the sinus. To correct it, I ended up with, I like it. I ended up with another nose.
She also liked the peace that she got through Buddhist chanting. This didn't exactly jive with her hyperactive yet still sultry stage persona, but she told 60 Minutes that's just her job.
I think people don't take singers as serious as they do actresses. Some actresses do worse things than I've ever done on stage, and they're treated with respect.
Tina Turner earned tremendous respect over a long career. Here, for 60 Minutes, she serenades Mike Wallace.
Let's stay together. Loving you well, times are good or bad.
Legends live forever.
All right.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes. We're brought to you by Granite Credit Union, helping members since 1935. Here's Ricky Meese.
Right now, I've just watched crews take up the debris that was blocking a left lane of traffic eastbound on the 21st South Freeway prior to I-215's West Belt. Now, on the westbound side, you are good to go from I-15 all the way to Magna. Southbound I-15 delays from 4500 to 90th South. Mark?
You have your usual volume headed to Rush in the Valley, Mountain View, Bangor, and SR 36 to Willa. Some hot spots this afternoon in Utah County, though. University Parkway headed I-15 to State Street in Orem. Pioneer Crossing's been heavy about Saratoga Road, 2300 West. But I-15 looks good right now. Good KSL travel times in Utah County. Steve.
Got a fresh crash on State Street right now, 21st South in South Salt Lake. Meantime, northbound 15 delays at 2300 North starting to fill in there at Warm Springs Road. Into Davis County, got some rainy roads late into Hill Air Force Base and some slowdowns northbound 15 through Marietta Slaterville. New crash on eastbound Parish Lane in Centerville, right there at Main Street on the right shoulder. Southbound 89 really bogged down between Harrison Boulevard and I-84, plus delays on southbound Harrison Boulevard between Weber State and Highway 89. When you choose Performance Automotive in Bountiful, you're choosing selection for locations: Performance Ford Lincoln, Performance Honda, Performance Toyota, and Truck Country. See it all at performancebountiful.com. Steve Carlson at the KSL Traffic Center.
Low pressure spinning over the west will provide another chance for afternoon storms today. Look for a high of 82. Overnight lows, upper 50s with some clouds here and there. We'll go 81 tomorrow with another chance for those afternoon thunderstorms. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
It's 72 degrees in Salt Lake City. So, Alex, my board op, you're 28, right?
29.
29, I'm sorry. So, have you ever heard of Tina Turner?
I had heard of Tina Turner.
Do you have a favorite song?
None come to mind right now.
How do you know about her?
I watched a lot of movies and she was referenced a lot.
I understand. So what did you think of her hearing that clip of her singing?
Incredible.
All right, there you go. It's 3:42 at KSL News Radio.
Do you dream of a beautiful landscape, complete with colorful blooms to brighten your home throughout the seasons? Spring is the perfect time to create flower-filled garden beds or to adorn your front porch and backyard patio with gorgeous hanging baskets and grand container gardens. This is Brian with Olson's Greenhouse, and my family has been growing flowers with love and care for 80 years. That's a fourth-generation, local family business, growing plants and jobs right here in the mountain valleys of Utah. Whether you love bold, bright colors or calming classics, flowers grown by Olson's Greenhouse include something for everyone. So let's get to your local garden center and find the perfect flowers to create your dream landscape. And you'll be coming home to a yard bursting with blooms in no time. For inspiration on flower gardening, or just to find the closest garden center that carries flowers from the Olson's family, head on over to OGG.com for Olson's Greenhouse Gardens. That's OGG.com to dream big, dream bold, dream in color.
It's been a rough winter for sure, but visitors are flocking to Box Elder County. Our feathered visitors, that is. Bear River Migratory Bird Refuge is busy hosting swans to swallows and geese to grebes. This spring migration, it's in full swing, and all that's missing is you. Box Elder County, it really is for the birds. Just a short 60 minutes north of Salt Lake, Box Elder County is the perfect place to make memories and celebrate spring. Along with spending time with our feathered friends, you'll experience amazing restaurants and unique shopping. Why not come take a soak in the Crystal Hot Springs, home to the highest mineral content of any natural hot springs in the world, and just let winter melt away as you relax and rejuvenate. Take in a theater performance at one of the live theaters or visit one of the fine museums. Visitors really are chirping all about Box Elder County. Check out boxeldercounty.com and see why Box Elder County is for the birds. That's boxeldercounty.com.
KSL News Time, 3:45. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
the words the Delta Center are back up on the side of the home of the Utah Jazz today. Crews installing those letters all day throughout the day today. It hasn't been there since 2006. I'm KSL News Radio's Lindsay Ertz.
Second, prosecutors in Davis County have filed capital murder charges against Jeremy Bailey. He's accused of killing his wife and her parents at his home in Layton this week. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
There is an accident reported at State Street 2100 South. Also delays northbound I-15 between North Temple and the North Interchange in North Salt Lake. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Afternoon thunderstorms on repeat, and they could last into the first half of the weekend. I'm Matt Johnson.
72 degrees in Salt Lake City now. KSL's top national stories from ABC News.
Still no deal to raise the debt ceiling a day after Fitch Ratings put the U.S. on negative watch.
We hope that not another one of the three credit rating agencies issues a warning, because this warning from Fitch should really renew the sense of urgency for lawmakers to come up with a deal.
ABC's Alexis Christoforos. President Biden has nominated Air Force General C.Q. Brown to be the next Joint Chiefs of Staff chairman. 18 years in prison for Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes for his role in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol.
I anticipated much higher than an 18-year sentence. Not that I agree with the sentence, but I anticipated much more.
A defense attorney, James Lee Bright. President Biden says the Supreme Court's decision to limit the power of the EPA will take the country backwards. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says Ukrainian pilots could begin training on U.S.-made F-16 fighters in the coming weeks. The head of the Wagner Group, the Russian private military contractor, says his forces are pulling out of Bakhmut and handing control to the Russian military. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Time for the KSL in-depth. Memorial Day weekend means lots of drivers on the roads, and UDOT has identified some areas where travelers should be planning ahead. Joining us on the KSL Newsline, our friend and UDOT spokesman, John Gleason. So, John, tell me where your engineers are expecting the problems, I guess, at the beginning of the weekend and the very end, right?
Yeah, that's right, Jeff. I think we're going to see a lot of vehicles, a lot of people trying to get south for the weekend. And so, St. George, Las Vegas, even California, we're going to see southbound I-15 really fill up tomorrow afternoon. And on top of the typical delays, we're anticipating up to 20 minutes of travel delays between the hours of about 2 to 7 o'clock. So avoid traveling in those times. If you have any flexibility, leave tomorrow morning or even tonight.
So let me ask you a question. Given that we've been through the pandemic and fewer people go to work as we head toward the weekend and they work from home, do you adjust your expectations for people bailing early on Thursday afternoon and nobody showing up at work on Friday and things like that?
I think you're absolutely right, Jeff. I think a lot of people are making this into a 4-day weekend. And so talking with our traffic engineers, these are merely projections. I mean, maybe we'll get off a little bit easier because people are kind of divvying up the times that they leave, but that's what they're anticipating. But that is the message really for everybody to avoid some of those headaches, with congestion, is leave early or, just avoid those times that everybody's out on the road.
So are there any construction projects we have to worry about during the course of the weekend?
Well, we're taking a break from most of the construction projects, but there are areas where we still have lane closures in place, namely eastbound US 40 near the Jordanelle Reservoir. It's down to one lane, and we're expecting heavy delays tomorrow afternoon. That could be a trouble spot. And then the good news, we've got a big project down on I-15 in Nephi that we've actually got all lanes open for right now. So other than the typical delays that you see in Nephi southbound, it's a little bit of a bottleneck right there. You're not going to see any construction-related delays, so that's good news.
I don't know if this is your wheelhouse. I think it's Arizona, but that stretch of I-15 along the Virgin River, way down south as you head to Vegas and Los Angeles, are they still doing construction on that?
They are, Jeff, and in fact, that is Arizona, and that has been congested for years now. And so give yourself extra time as you're going down there if you're heading to Las Vegas or California, because especially on a holiday weekend like this, you've got to adjust your expectations down there. There's going to be a lot of vehicles. Everybody has the same idea. It's been a long winter. We've had some warmer weeks leading up to this, but this is the unofficial start of summer, and I think everybody's has the idea that they want to celebrate. They want to get out and enjoy themselves this weekend.
Just do so safely. Thanks a lot. UDOT spokesman John Gleason joining us live ahead of the holiday weekend. And yeah, the rush has begun. We have traffic and weather together every 10 minutes. We're brought to you by Granite Credit Union, helping members since 1935. And here's Ricky Meese.
We do have a new accident in Murray, southbound I-15. It's after 53rd South as you're approaching the I-215 junction at the South Interchange. It looks like the vehicles are out of traffic on the left shoulder, but we do have delays stretching from 3300 almost to 90th South. And again, it's getting bogged down as you're passing Bangerter Highway and Draper. Northbound I-15 heavy and slow 33rd to 2100 South. Traffic now starting to build westbound on the 21st South Freeway, especially as you're approaching I-215's West Belt. Mark?
Well, this is likely a good time for travel. West side, keep in mind some weather expected, but no major hot spots. Bangerter, Mountain View, 5600 West, all look okay. Redwood Road from Bluffdale to Camp Williams, good speeds for now. I-15 delays in Utah County are minimum, but you do have a touch of heavy traffic down in the Nephi area. Steve?
We still have a crash on State Street right now, 21st South in South Salt Lake. Do have a crash on northbound 15 now at the North Interchange on the right shoulder. Big backups. They're waiting for you there at 6 North. Southbound 15, a little busy in Davis County through Clearfield by the base, plus that crash on eastbound Parish Lane in Centerville on the right shoulder. Southbound 89 really packed in this afternoon from Harrison Boulevard down to the I-84 ramps, and backups on Harrison Boulevard itself between, looks like, Weber State and Highway 89 there at the merge. Black Diamond Experts Drains Plumbing, Electric Heating and Air. Mention KSL to get a stubborn drain cleared for only $39 or a new toilet with installation for only $249. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. 80s again today with a chance for afternoon thunderstorms. We'll go 81 for your Friday. Afternoon storms yet again in the forecast. We keep them in for Saturday as well, but 79 the high. How about Sunday? Partly cloudy skies, 81. We go dry skies through middle of next week with more highs in the mid-80s. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
The 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. KSL News Time, 3:52.
Home is where the heart is. It's also where the office is, the school is, the restaurant is, the stadium is. Basically, your home is now the center for everything. So right now might just be the perfect time to upgrade your living space to one that has, well, a little more space. If you've been thinking about building, with home prices leveling out and material costs coming down, right now may be the perfect time to start building your dream home. Let the construction loan experts at Golden West Credit Union help make building your dream home a reality with a convenient low-rate construction loan. We also offer one-time close options so you can secure your construction loan and mortgage conveniently at the same time. Get a personalized rate quote right from the comfort of your own home or with a lending expert at any Golden West branch, or apply in minutes online today at gwcu.org. Golden West Credit Union, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 440574.
We'll take care of you.
Register for breaking news alerts by texting the Cyprus Credit Union KSL text line. Just text the word news to 57500.
Getting help with plumbing repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Hi, I'm Ryan Meeks. I have a podcast called The Path of Art, where I talk with creative people about how they're finding success in fields that many people are told not to go into. Listen to some of the things that they had to say.
There's something to be said about just being very tenacious.
I just kept painting and applying to shows and maybe applying to bigger shows.
Don't give up. Don't listen to people who tell you can't do something.
Don't just quit. Find out what that next step's going to be.
If you can channel your fear into optimistic excitement, it changes everything.
A lot of the voices that I've been fighting in my head are voices, are illusions.
People want to follow what they believe is going to happen. And so if you truly are moving in that direction, then it's not so hard to, how am I going to get this person? How am I going to get that? No, you just get moving.
Listen to The Path of Art at kslpodcasts.com or anywhere you get your podcasts.
Come on, the meeting's already started.
Sometimes it's important.
Last call, boarding gate number 9.
Sometimes it's urgent.
Trip for alarm.
Sometimes it's vital. Hospital treatment within 1 hour of a stroke can prevent lifelong disability. If you notice someone experiencing sudden weakness on one side or having a problem speaking, walking, or seeing, call 911 fast. Stroke. Know the signs. Act in time. A message from the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke.
We're watching Utah's Money at KSL. Pfizer's antiviral pill for COVID has gained FDA approval today for adults 50 and older. Paxlovid is for those who are at high risk of getting severely sickened by COVID, those with diabetes, heart conditions, cancer, or weak immune systems. More choices for football fans. DirecTV will broadcast NFL Sunday Ticket into commercial businesses, bars, and restaurants this fall. They reached agreement with the NFL today. No word what DirecTV paid for the privilege of broadcasting to bars and restaurants. A dismal earnings report sent Dollar Tree stock tumbling 10% today. Net income for the quarter fell by half from last year. Dollar Tree took a hit because of shoplifting and damaged merch. On Wall Street today, a little strange. The Dow down 35 points. The S&P was up 36, but the Nasdaq soared, gaining 213 points, picking up 1.7% today. KSL News Time, 3:56. It's the 100-day countdown to Cougar football. Here's BYU insider Mitch Harper.
In 100 days, BYU football is back. And any BYU season on the gridiron is going to bring a lot of anticipation and excitement. But this year, it jumps up in a big way.
Big 12 open for business.
BYU is preparing for its first year in the Big 12 Conference. And eighth-year head coach Kalani Sitake wants his team to dream big as they get ready for their first impression as a Power 5 team.
My job is to make sure that we play at our best 12 times so we can earn more. Regardless of the opponent is, our approach has got to be, we got to be ready to play our best. And if that's good enough to, when you say Big 12 ready will be us playing at the highest level and making sure that we're definitely competing at our best.
Along with a new league, Kalani Sitake has a new coaching staff, with Jay Hill joining the program as defensive coordinator. Find out why you should be excited for BYU's new look D over at KSLSports.com. Countdown to Cougar football, 100 days to go. I'm Mitch Harper, KSL Sports.
Look through your children's eyes, and you'll see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. When they discover the forest, their imagination is inspired by the smell of pine, the crunch of leaves beneath their feet, the sound of birds calling out for attention. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating forest world. You are the hero in this book. This is a memory being made. This is what they will laugh about years from now. These are the roots, grounding and nourishing them.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Then look through your children's eyes and discover the magic all around you. That's discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
It may be summer, but the news isn't slowing down this year.
Deep water at Wasatch Hollow.
Guilty on all charges. State leaders going into a special session. Make KSL your go-to each morning this summer. Utah's Morning News with Tim and Amanda starts at 5. We talk through the biggest stories with Dave and Dejanovic at 9 and Boyd Matheson at 1. Then drive home with key news updates with Jeff Caplan from 3 to 7. Your all-summer companion for news. KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time, 3:59. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes. We're brought to you by Granite Credit Union, helping members since 1935. Listen up. Here's Ricky Meese.
A crash with possible injuries now in the Murray area, southbound I-15 prior to 4500 South. Right now, a couple of right lanes blocked and more vehicles over to the left shoulder. It's causing delays back to 2100 South. Heavy and slow, Murray and Midvale, and again in Draper. Mark?
Start to shape up rush hour out west on Mountain View and Bangerter through West Valley, and then I-15 right now in Utah County starting to get a little bit sluggish about Linden, Pleasant Grove Boulevard area. Steve?
Yeah, we have delays from downtown Salt Lake City. Got a crash northbound 15 to the north interchange causing those delays. It's on the right shoulder. Delay start from downtown Salt Lake City. Southbound 15 a little busy through Clearfield by the base, and southbound 89 really bogged down on Harrison Boulevard as well for some high school graduation delays. Visit the largest swim spa and hot tub supercenter in the state at Hot Tub Factory Outlet and Backyards of America. Hot tub starting as low as $49.99 MSRP. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
Scattered thunderstorms expected this afternoon. 71 degrees in Salt Lake City. It's 3:59.
KSL FM Midvale, KSL Salt Lake City. Listen on the KSL News Radio app and in your car at 102.7 FM. KSL News Radio, Utah's all-day companion for news.
Good afternoon. It's 4 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Jeff Caplan. Again, we're at 71 with a cloudy sky. KSL's top story is developing news. The Wasatch Front Regional Council has voted in favor of a new transportation plan. It includes a gondola in Little Cottonwood Canyon. The vote happened just a few minutes ago, but we received a document hours ago with the council letterhead saying that the measure was passed. KSL News Radio's Amy Kobabe is outside that meeting with details. Amy?
Jeff, this embargoed press release this morning read that it had passed. This is only a release, was the only release that Wasatch Front Regional Council sent to media, and the same piece of paper was handed out to reporters here at the door, making this whole meeting feel a bit staged, especially because there were dozens of public comments here at this meeting. But those people I spoke to here who commented in that meeting say they're unsurprised.
I don't even know why there was any public comment, to be honest, because they did not listen to us.
This now means the gondola is one step closer to becoming a reality, but several people here also say they're not going to stop fighting. Reporting live on the scene, Amy Kobabe, KSL News Radio.
Thanks, Amy. It's back. The Delta Center sign is back up on the arena downtown. KSL News Radio's Lindsay Ertz was there. Some of the letters were hoisted into place.
First, crews screwing the word Delta into place, then the red and blue colors, then the word center, all to be lit after sunset.
I've been living in Salt Lake for over 30 years, and for me, I'm not sure it ever changed.
At the sentiment of many a Jazz fans, one of the construction workers putting up those letters is named Brad.
I put the original ones up 25 or whatever years ago.
The building hasn't been called the Delta Center since 2006.
What does it feel like 25 years later?
I'm older.
The new letters are not the same ones from back then. New ones have been made. The court inside the arena will get rebranded in October. Lindsay Ertz, KSL News Radio.
3 more letters. KSL News Time 402, a credit rating agency putting the U.S. on notice as the country nears a default. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, the U.S. agency putting credit on watch for a possible downgrade. ABC News business correspondent Alexis Christopher says it's a red flag for lawmakers in Washington.
A downgrade would cause our interest rates to skyrocket here, and also it would raise the cost of issuing debt in this country.
President Biden working to reassure Americans that there will be no default on the national debt. The president says he and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy are making progress.
The only way to move forward is with a bipartisan agreement, and I believe we'll come to an agreement that allows us to move forward and that protects the hardworking Americans of this country.
The two sides facing a June 1st deadline. The founder of the Oath Keepers, Stuart Rhodes, has been sentenced to 18 years in prison for his role in the January 6th storming of the Capitol. Following the sentencing, Rhodes' lawyer Philip Linder had this reaction.
Of course, I wanted less. The prosecutors wanted more, but based on Judge Mehta's belief of what the facts show and his recitation of that yesterday and today, that was lower than what I thought Mehta would do.
The sentence, the longest so far in punishments for those found guilty of planning or participating in the attack. And a California man is free after serving 33 years in prison for a crime he did not commit.
I just knew that one day this was going to come. I'm just so grateful. I just thank God.
Daniel Cedano was convicted in 1989 for the attempted murder of 6 people in a Baldwin Park. He was arrested and charged with a group of other defendants in what prosecutors at the time said was a gang-related shooting. Recently, the Los Angeles DA learned that one of the convicted men said he was not involved in the shooting in any way. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
If you look at the entire Memorial Day holiday weekend, today is the busiest day for air travel, and so far, so good.
Under 100 flights have been canceled in all of the U.S. on this busy day. That's extremely low compared to some days like in late December when thousands of flights were canceled per day. The Honolulu airport has had the most canceled flights of any U.S. airport today, and it's had only 8 canceled flights, mostly due to weather on Guam impacting flights heading there. United is the airline with the most canceled flights at 43.
That's ABC's Alex Stone. There have been 55 delayed flights into and out of Salt Lake City Airport today. It's not their busiest time of the year, but deer and other wildlife will be near the roads this weekend. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has details.
Faith Eaton Jolly with the Division of Wildlife Resources says deer-related crashes peak around the mating season in the fall, but it's not uncommon to see them in the spring as they try to head back to the once barren tundra of the mountains. Faith says while you can see deer all over the place, it's pretty common to see them along Highway 6 and the intersection of I-80 and I-84.
That's KSL News Radio's Adam Small. Be extra careful in wooded areas of the state around sunrise and sunset. Don't swerve to avoid an animal, they say. If you hit one, move off the road, call for help. If you're planning to camp this holiday weekend, most campgrounds in Utah will be open, but not all of them.
The Rock Cliff area around the Nature Center at Jordan, we've closed that off due to the high water levels in that area. The rail trail that connects Park City over to Colville by Echo, there's some sections there that have washed out. And then the Mormon Flats group site at East Canyon State Park is closed.
Devin Chavez from State Parks tells David Dujanovic most of the state's reservoirs are filling quickly with the melt-off. Also filling quickly the roads this afternoon. Ricky Meese has first look traffic. What's going on?
I'm afraid we're at emergency traffic due to this crash with injuries in Murray, southbound I-15, prior to 4500 South. Now, I know some drivers are getting impatient, but they did have to hold back all traffic in order to get some of these vehicles moved all over to the right. But again, a right lane blocked and delays setting in. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
And you'll find out why my life is pure misery in just a moment.
Hi friends, Dan the Laptop Man here from PC Laptops. I get a lot of emails from people all the time. Here's one. Dear Dan, I hear your talk about a lifetime service guarantee. Free? Really? Please help me avoid all your fine print and be honest about what free means. You understand that we should be very wary of a free offer. Signed, Skeptical. Hi, Skeptical. I remember 22 years ago when we started PC Laptops and our lifetime service guarantee, people thought it was too good to be true. Well, after a decade, people started believing me a little bit. But it's been 22 years of having the privilege to serve our friends and neighbors like you. Our lifetime service guarantee has become the most trusted warranty in the industry. You can get a brand new PC Laptops desktop computer, and they start at only $29 a month. Check us out at PCLaptops.com. That's PCLaptops.com. Here's to seeing you soon, Skeptical.
Calling all Utah locals, see the Southwest by rail on board Rocky Mountaineer. Until May 31st, save up to $1,200 per couple. Visit RockyMountaineer.com to book.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. What you're listening to is this. I say what you're listening to is the sound of me saving the U.S. economy from recession. Lowe's and Home Depot both say Americans have cut back severely on home improvement projects. People who work from home are going back to the office, so that remodel remains a dream. Turning that spare bedroom into a magnificent home office with all the perks, not happening. With inflation acting like a wrecking ball on family budgets, so I decided to step up and save the economy. Right now, what you're listening to is a couple of guys directly above my home office, a tireless work crew sweltering in the sunshine. Up on the roof. And it's hot up there. Up on the roof. Yes, I'm trying to record this minute as the guys up there are giving us a new roof, which basically means they take your bank account and turn it into shingles. And along the way, you experience pure chaos. Cowering dogs unable to figure out what's going on up there as they endlessly whimper in fear, then bark to make it stop. But it does not stop. Not for a second. Not for a minute of news. So here we are, listening to the percussive pounding by people completely impervious to the heat. For these guys, by afternoon, it feels like the roof is on fire. As the sun sears and the roof bakes, these men sweat and struggle, slaking their thirst with a slurp of water, and with barely a break, they get back to work helping me save the U.S. economy. It ain't cheap, but that's what happens when prices go through the roof. The roof is on. Oh, never mind.
Let's make some noise! Let's make some noise! Come on! Jeff Caplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Emergency traffic on KSL News Radio. We're brought to you by Granite Credit Union, helping members since 1935. Ricky, what you got?
It's a crash. Multiple vehicles and with injuries southbound I-15 just as you're approaching 4500 south. The right lane is blocked. Right now we have stop and go delays back to about 1300 south. Once you're past that, it's a little busy at 72nd, but more slowing as you're going from 114th south through Draper. The 21st South Freeway is seeing westbound slowing between I-15 and I-215, and eastbound I-80 busy and a little slow from Bangerter to I-215's West Belt. Mark?
It's getting to look a little bit like rush hour out west on Mountain View, headed southbound towards 3500 south, West Valley. Bangerter delays forming southbound at 9800 south. I'm seeing the first signs of rush hour delay on I-15. It's not that severe. Southbound at Pleasant Grove Boulevard in Utah County. Steve?
We have scattered delays from downtown Salt Lake City. Northbound 15 between 5th South and the North Interchange. Southbound 15 busy in Davis County, Roy down to Sunset. Also at Hillfield Road and in Kaysville at 200 North. Plus high school graduation delays on southbound Harrison Boulevard, backed up between 4800 South, right there by the Taco Time, and Highway 89. And those delays are spilling on to southbound 89 now, still crowded from Harrison Boulevard through Uinta down to I-84. Northbound 89 packed in now at SR 193. Don't miss the grand opening of Fat Cats in Bluffdale, 13901 South Redwood Road, Friday, May 26th, starting at 11 a.m. Fat Cats, the best place for family fun. Steve Carlson at the KSL Traffic Center.
Low pressure spinning over the west will provide another chance for afternoon storms today. Look for a high of 82. Overnight lows, upper 50s with some clouds here and there. We'll go 81 tomorrow with another chance for those afternoon thunderstorms. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Still dry. 73 in Salt Lake City at 412.
Interest rates have gone up for buying a home, but not for remodeling the exterior of your home. This week only at RGS Exteriors, it's our zero interest financing sale. That's right, 0% interest on any gutters, siding, windows, or any exterior remodeling project on your home. We have programs for 12, 18, and 24 months, all with 0% financing. But the sale is this week only at RGS Exteriors. Want stunning James Hardy siding? 0%. Need to replace your windows? 0%. New gutters or gutter covers? 0%. How about a full extreme makeover? That's right, 0%. We've also been serving Utah for 5 generations, so you can trust us to do the job right. All work is backed by our exclusive 10-year everything guarantee for total peace of mind. And this week only, everything is available for 0% financing with approved credit. Don't put off your new exterior project any longer. As always, estimates are free, so call RGS Exteriors at 801-280-3110 or visit us at rgsutah.com. That's rgsutah.com.
Hi there, this is Clark Ivory with Ivory Homes. 2023 is going to be amazing, especially if you choose to move into a new Ivory home. If you want to buy a new Ivory home but aren't ready to sell your existing home, we can help out. Smart Move Guarantee takes all the hassle out of renting your existing home. They manage the rental process and maintenance and guarantee your rental rate for 3 years. Smart Move Guarantee is exclusive to Ivory Homes. Drop by one of our model homes today.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs that will significantly reduce the amount you owe if you qualify. Accredited Debt Relief has helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. For this free information, call 800-786-3400. That's 800-786-3400.
Get the Intermountain West Contractor's Advantage. Quality, speed, value for your money, and $1,000 off a roof replacement. Visit IWCroofing.com.
KSL News Time, 4:15. The 3 things you need to know this hour first.
Prosecutors in Davis County have filed capital murder charges against 34-year-old Jeremy Bailey. He's accused of shooting his wife and her parents to death at his home in Layton last week. He could face the death penalty. I'm KSL News Radio's Hugo Ricard-Bell.
Second, the Supreme Court is sided with an Idaho family to challenge the Clean Water Act's authority over U.S. wetlands. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
It's emergency traffic on southbound I-15 due to a multiple vehicle crash with possible injuries prior to 4500 South. It's causing heavy delays into Salt Lake City. And also northbound I-215's westbound. That's bogged down from just before I-80 up to 700 North. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Saturday afternoon thunderstorms on repeat. I'm Matt Johnson.
73 degrees now. KSL's top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Daria Aldinger. Another day and still no word of any real progress in reaching an agreement to raise the debt ceiling. That's even a day after a credit agency raised the stakes for what a default could mean.
A downgrade would cause our interest rates to skyrocket here, and also it would raise the cost of issuing debt in this country. If you yourself were going out for a personal loan and the bank considered you risky, they thought, well, you may have a tough time paying off that loan, you wouldn't get a very favorable rate or favorable conditions on that loan.
ABC's Alexis Christoforos. President Biden nominating Air Force General C.Q. Brown to be the next Joint Chiefs of Staff chairman.
He's the top general in the U.S. Air Force, and he is 60 years old, so he's been in for almost 38 years now, and he has steadily climbed up the ranks, having some of the main positions in the Air Force, ending up running the air war against ISIS.
ABC's Louis Martinez, 18 years in prison for Stuart Rhodes, the founder of the Oath Keepers, for his role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
Of course, I wanted less. The prosecutors wanted more. But based on Judge Mehta's belief of what the facts show and his recitation of that yesterday and today, I believe that was lower than what I thought Mehta would do.
Defense attorney Philip Linder. The White House says today's Supreme Court ruling, which limits the power of the EPA, will take the country backwards. The Pentagon says Ukrainian pilots could begin training on U.S.-made F-16 fighters in the coming weeks. Joint Chiefs of Staff Chair General Mark Milley says it's the right time to do it.
Look at the cost curve and do the analysis. The smartest thing to have done is exactly what we did do, which is provide a significant amount of integrated air defense to cover the battle space and deny the Russians the airspace. And that is exactly what happened.
The Netherlands and Denmark are leading a European coalition to provide the training. Stocks closed mixed today. You're listening to ABC News.
Time for the in-depth on KSL, and we're at the traditional start of summer, but some campgrounds in Utah are still snowed in and inaccessible for the holiday weekend. Devin Chavez from State Parks told Dave and Dujanovic this morning, many areas are thankfully up and running as usual.
A large number of our parks, with a lot of this runoff, the majority of them are starting to fill up. Like you said, with Jordanelle on its way up, we've seen Willard Bay and Deer Creek all get very, very high. Rockport, a little more in the middle, but yeah, with this debris that's coming down, this isn't just for the northern area of the state either that's seeing this debris. We've seen this happen at places like Gunlock Falls as well, where we've had to shut it down and remove debris. So if you do happen to be in an area where you see debris floating off in the distance, avoid those at all costs. We don't want you to damage your boat, or if you're on a paddlecraft or something like that. But overall, the majority of all of our campgrounds and state parks are all open as usual. Flooding has impacted a couple areas. You mentioned Jordanelle, the Rock Cliff area around the Nature Center at Jordanelle. We've closed that off due to the high water levels in that area. The rail trail that connects Park City over to Colville by Echo, there's some sections there that have washed out. And then the Mormon Flats group site at East Canyon State Park is closed. But other than that, everything else is open and ready for people.
He says Jordanelle is about 81% full. Deer Creek is almost 96% full, thanks to all the runoff. KSL News Time 419. This is Emergency Traffic. We're brought to you by Granite Credit Union, helping members since 1935. Ricky, the very latest, please.
Right lane still blocked southbound I-15 with this crash, although they are working to get it cleared just before 4500 South. The problem is it has already stacked up traffic to about 9th South, and now I'm seeing delays stack up northbound I-15 as you go from 33rd South and on those transition ramps to the 201 and to I-80. But a KSL traffic trooper is saying there is an accident northbound I-15 just before the Spaghetti Bowl. That's the I-80 201 junction, and that the wreck is in one of the center lanes of travel. Now, for those on the 201, westbound slowing between I-15 and the West Belt, and eastbound I-80 bogged down from Bangerter Highway to I-215. Mark?
Yeah, it's fairly okay. You should make your way SR 36 Stansbury Park down to Tooele. Just a little volume. Same with Mountain View and Bangerter. Nothing too unusual. Worst of the Bangerter delays hanging up southbound at 9800 South. Getting some volume on southbound I-15 right now. But nothing out of the ordinary at Pleasant Grove Boulevard. Steve.
We have delays from downtown Salt Lake City if you're on northbound 15. They've actually cleared out a little bit, but still a bit thick there between 6 North and the North Interchange. Also from Lagoon into Kaysville. Farther up, you got more slowdowns in Clearfield. Southbound 15, a little busy there from Layton down into the Kaysville area. West Side Belt, delays and a new crash there. Northbound 215 on the West Belt at 700 North. This spring, get your lawn off to a good start with Revive Organic Soil Treatment. Greener grass, using less water, spread it or spray it. Revive, it works. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Kevin Eubank is here, and we have thunderstorms rolling through again this afternoon.
Yep, a few more scattered thunderstorms. It's been the story the last couple of days. Jeff, it's going to be the story for the next couple of days. Right now, there's a cell just off to the west of Provo. Another line out over Eureka along Highway 6, and then bigger thunderstorms out over the West Desert. And so these are spotty, but where they hit, you get a little rain, you get a little hail, you get some gusty winds. Plan is tonight, low of 56. Tomorrow's highs down a couple of degrees, will be in the upper 70s. Mostly cloudy skies by afternoon, stray thunderstorms around. We'll do it again on Saturday, even into Sunday. The overall pattern lingers almost through Memorial Day. Highs will climb back to the 80s for the holiday with lows in the 50s.
So the barbecue, are we okay, or are there going to be possible washouts?
No, not washouts, but there will be little isolated thunderstorms. This pattern, there's a cold front that's out to the northwest of us that's stalled. It's been there for days. It's not going anywhere. So until that thing moves, we don't get rid of these storms. And each day we keep hoping that it's going to move. So we keep saying, hey, maybe Monday will be good. Stay tuned. There's a chance for some afternoon thunderstorms even through the holiday.
Yeah, it should go somewhere for the holiday weekend, right?
You go south, it's sunny and warm and no thunderstorms.
How do you like that? Thanks a lot. Kevin Eubank looking ahead to the weekend weather forecast. Right now, 73 in Salt Lake City. KSL News Time, 422.
The Utah Division of Emergency Management says make a plan. Identify a meeting place outside your home in case of fire and outside your neighborhood in case you're separated in a disaster. Get a kit. Besides your disaster kit, have at least a 2-week supply of food and water stored at home. Be informed. Check your earthquake and flood insurance. And finally, get involved. Remember, when family members take action toward preparedness, you will all be ready. For more, visit beready.utah.gov. That's beready.utah.gov.
Don't be worried. Be ready. KSL News Radio is partnering with Be Ready Utah to provide the plans your family needs for an emergency, the tools and supplies to keep on hand, and the knowledge on how to keep a cool head. It's Be Ready Utah. Listen for Be Ready tips and tools each Tuesday with Dave and Dujanovic. Plus, find the latest preparation info at beready.utah.gov. That's beready.utah.gov. Be Ready Utah with KSL News Radio.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
It may be summer, but the news isn't slowing down this year.
Ankle deep water at Wasatch Hollow.
Guilty on all charges. State leaders going into a special session. Make KSL your go-to each morning this summer. Utah's Morning News with Tim and Amanda starts at 5. We talk through the biggest stories with Dave and Dujanovic at 9 and Boyd Matheson at 1. Then drive home with key news updates with Jeff Caplan from 3 to 7. Your all-summer companion for news. KSL News Radio.
We are watching Utah's money at KSL. BMW is creating an electric 5 Series sedan, but the starting price is $68,000, and the price is the price. It won't qualify for electric vehicle tax credits because parts are made overseas. A tale of two companies now. American Eagle Outfitters stock was down 12% today on a flat earnings report. Meantime, yesterday, its chief competitor, Abercrombie, had a great earnings report, and its stock was up 28%. Best Buy's quarterly earnings were higher than Wall Street expected, but the company's expecting by year's end they're going to be down 3 to 6%. Everybody worried about a recession that might or might not come. Best Buy stock was up 1% today in a strange market on Wall Street. The Dow was down 35 points. It closed at 32,764. The S&P was up 36 points. And look at the NASDAQ, gaining 213, picking up 1.7%. France is banning a lot of short-haul domestic airlines flights in order to cut down on carbon emissions. Any French cities that have fast rail service are being clamped with this short-haul ban. So could this ever happen here?
Environmental groups say while the U.S. is not set up with rail to cut short-haul flights, what France is doing is a good experiment to see how it works. Carter Rubin of the Natural Resources Defense Council tells me there is an appetite in the U.S. to not deal with air travel when going a relatively short distance.
I think there's a desire for Americans to have much better alternatives to flying and driving 300-400-mile distances between cities.
But besides the D.C., New York, Boston corridor, there aren't many options in most parts of the U.S. Alex Stone, EBC News.
Troy, we made it. We got through winter, second winter, full spring, the pollinating, and now we finally come to summer.
Don't say the S word.
What, summer?
Stop! You'll spook it away.
Spook summer.
Please!
No way all this happened just because I said summer. Okay, I believe you.
But that's why RVs are so great. You can keep camping through all that ugly early season weather.
That's big. You only get so many camping days with your kids each year.
And Bish's RV makes sure you don't miss a minute of camping season.
It's also why we're throwing a massive Memorial Day sale right now.
We've got bunkhouse travel trailers as low as $199 per month OAC.
All 2022s are reduced to move with no reasonable offer refused.
90 days, no payments OAC for 3 months of all play and no pay.
And more than max trade-in value on your current RV. Take that, summer. I'm sorry. Just checking.
Come to the Memorial Day sale at Bish's RV in North Salt Lake and American Fork. Previously Stewart's RV. Bish's RV, where memories begin.
Stock number 69455, 45748. Subject to prior sale. DL426B, DL882B. See dealer for details.
Join KSL tomorrow for the movie show at Megaplex Theaters Thanksgiving Point from 9 to noon. The movie show tomorrow at Megaplex Theater at Thanksgiving Point.
Utah, here we go.
This year's Memorial Day weekend could see busier roads and skies than most of the last 20 years.
The long-awaited summer travel season.
AAA expects this to be the biggest annual increase in road trippers since 2010.
We're really expecting traffic to bog down.
We're staffing up with extra traffic reporters from noon to 7 Thursday and Friday. So check in before you head out. Added traffic coverage Thursday and Friday on KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time, 429, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes. We're brought to you by Granite Credit Union, helping members since 1935. And here's Ricky Meese.
They've opened up that lane of traffic, and everything about that crash on southbound I-15 approaching 4500 South is now on the shoulder. However, we have residual delays 4500 South all the way back to the I-80 junction around North Temple. Even if you're past that, it's heavy and slow from the South Interchange through Draper. The 21st South Freeway, delays possible either direction between the West Belt and I-15, and slowing on I-215 South Belt. This is eastbound Redwood Road over to the I-15 junction. Mark?
It's slowing down on Bangerter southbound around 9800 South Shields Lane, and then it's filling in on southbound I-15 as well, headed American Fork Main Street down to about Geneva Road. On Pioneer Crossing in 2100 North in Lehigh, coming for I-15, that's getting heavy as well. Steve?
Northbound 15, thick and busy from downtown Salt Lake up to the North Interchange. Also in Davis County from Lagoon into Kaysville. We have southbound 15 delays as well. Roy to Sunset, also from Hillfield Road all the way down to Kaysville in spots. Got a crash northbound 215 on the West Side Belt. That's at 700 North. And southbound 215, a little busy there on the West Belt as well from Temp North down to I-80. And now Legacy getting busy through Centerville. Wake up with a sore back. Upgrade your mattress today at Durden's New Sleep Center. Durden's Mattresses on 5th South and Bountiful. Durden's, brands you know, at prices you'll love. Steve Carlson at the KSL Traffic Center.
You're listening to Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, 4:30 at KSL. Jeff Caplan here. It's 75 degrees. KSL's top story. A Layton man could face the death penalty for the killings of his wife and her parents. KSL News Radio's Hugo Ricard-Bell is live with the latest. Hugo?
Jeff, prosecutors in Davis County have filed capital murder charges against Jeremy Bailey, who is allegedly responsible for the triple homicide in Layton last week. Police say the 34-year-old went to the store to buy more ammunition after shooting his wife and her parents in his home. He then posted about what he had done using his late wife's Facebook before calling 911. Should the prosecution decide to push it in the coming 60 days, you're right, he could face the death penalty. Reporting live, Hugo Ricard-Bell, KSL News Radio.
6 days and counting before the U.S. could default on its obligations. Maria Chaleos is live at the KSL National News Desk.
Jeff, time continuing to tick by without a debt ceiling package. Republican Congressman Byron Donald says maybe the U.S. should default.
If there's not enough sense between Republicans and Democrats to get this done and do it the appropriate way, just because they want to protect their political agenda, nobody should be getting paid.
Economists largely agree that a default would be a catastrophe for the U.S. economy, resulting in spiking interest rates, military and Social Security recipients going without checks, and millions of lost jobs. Memorial Day weekend is getting off to a good start at the nation's airports. Fewer than 100 flights have been canceled on this busy day. That is extremely low compared to days in late December when thousands of flights were canceled per day. United Airlines with the most canceled flights at 43. Seniors in the Tar Heel State sounding the alarm about possible Medicare fraud after receiving unwanted COVID-19 tests in recent weeks.
I opened it up. I said, what the heck is this?
It annoys me that somebody's paying for it, probably me or you.
North Carolina's Medicare office is helping consumers file appeals with Medicare. Live from the KSL National News Desk, I'm Maria Chaleos, KSL News Radio.
These debt ceiling negotiations in Washington could impact people using food stamps here in Utah.
SNAP benefits, commonly known as food stamps, are part of the discussions between the president and House Speaker McCarthy. Currently, people under 50 with no dependents who are able-bodied have to work 20 hours a week to get food stamps, but that requirement could be raised to 56 years old.
This has been a rule that has been in place for a very long time, and I think our expectations in terms of how old all of us end up working before we end up retiring or stop looking for work has changed during the course of the years.
Morris Pressis with the Department of Workforce Services says there are about 6,800 households in Utah using SNAP right now. For people who would be impacted by this possible change, he says they're usually only using food stamps for 3 months at a time and rarely longer. Amy Kobabe, KSL News Radio.
Weber County students are helping the homeless community in Salt Lake City. KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla explains how.
High school construction classes are building tiny homes, some of these homes being sold to the Other Side Village, a neighborhood of affordable homes built to house Utahns coming out of chronic homelessness. Students are learning hands-on construction skills and what goes on behind the scenes, like regulations and inspections.
The construction classes are also working hand-in-hand with interior design students, partnering to design the 300-square-foot homes. KSL News Time, 4:34. We have breaking news on KSL News Radio. The Logan River has officially been declared a disaster area, so all recreation has been banned for the time being. The Logan mayor has signed an executive order for 30 days. Anyone who violates the order could be subject to criminal prosecution. Again, the Logan River has officially been declared a disaster area. All recreation has been banned. The executive order lasts for 30 days. Remember the lifeguard shortage last summer? Do you remember this? Well, this year it's not nearly as bad, but Salt Lake County is still looking for some lifeguards. Callista Pearson from Salt Lake County Parks and Recreation says the job pays pretty well.
Our trained lifeguards, we pay between $14 and $18 an hour. We also pay them for the training that they do. Our swim instructors get $16 to $19 an hour. So there's a lot of opportunity, and it's just a really fun job to do for the summer.
She says many states are experiencing shortages of lifeguards this year, but it's not a big problem in Salt Lake County, fortunately. We are 100 days out from the first BYU football game in the Big 12 Conference. KSL BYU insider Mitch Harper joined Utah's Morning News saying his favorite home game on the schedule this fall will be senior night in late November against the Oklahoma Sooners.
The historic Oklahoma program rolls into Provo, Boomer Sooner. That's going to be quite the game. I think it might be, honestly, the most expensive ticket in the history of BYU's stadium. That's going to be quite the event.
Wow. Mitch says he'll be filing daily reports. You'll hear insights from coaches and players as they get ready for the Big 12. And you're going to hear those reports on our show in the afternoon and during Utah's Morning News. You can also catch up at KSLSports.com. It's 4:35. It's a rough afternoon on the roads. We have first look traffic. Ricky, what's going on?
It has been pretty bumpy. We've had several crashes, and the ones that have definitely added to delays are on both north and southbound I-15, with traffic bogged down anywhere from about 9th South to 5300 South, and that could be either direction. But also a big heads up, heavy and slow traffic southbound on the West Belt. This is up at the north end as you go from 2100 North down to the I-80 junction. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Tina Turner, in her own words. Next.
Want to annihilate payroll problems? Wipe them out with Paycom. Paycom torches timesheet errors like a flamethrower. Oh, obliterates overtime blunders like a wrecking ball. Holy mackerel! And PTO problems? Paycom leaves them pulverized. Wow! Because with Paycom, employees do their own payroll right in the Paycom app. They find and fix errors before payroll submission, so HR can tackle important stuff, like performance incentives and retaining top producers, so your people can crush their goals. And with Paycom, employees enter and manage their own HR info, like onboarding, tax setup, and benefits enrollment. It's all in one powerful software with ironclad security. Stop doing that! Sick of HR and payroll headaches? Don't just eliminate them. Demolish them! At Paycom.com.
When it comes to your electrical system, do you know the warning signs to look for? What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and it's okay if you don't know, but here are a few things that you might not even realize could be a sign of a bigger problem. Wall plates that are hot to the touch, discoloration around switches or outlets, if you hear crackling or popping or buzzing around switches or outlets, a breaker that trips a lot, switches that feel loose when you operate them, if your lights dim or flicker when a major appliance comes on, if your plugs fall out of the wall easily. You know, you're not supposed to have to bend the prongs out on a plug just to get it to stay in the wall. If you notice any of these things, you should consider having a licensed electrician check your system out. If you don't know anyone, Any Hour Services has put together a radio-only special for any homeowners listening. One of our licensed electricians will perform a comprehensive electrical inspection and give you a full written report for only $29. But you have to mention this ad when you call. To schedule your comprehensive electrical inspection by a licensed electrician for only $29, call Any Hour Services at 801-443-7300. That's 801-443-7300. Any Hour Services.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. With the passing of Tina Turner, a fascinating 60 Minutes piece about her life went viral the other day. Back in 1997, Mike Wallace visited Tina Turner at her home in France.
I had no idea that you were such a huge star in Europe.
No one in America knows that. People say, when are you going to go to Vegas? I was there already. Yeah. Success in America, nothing lasts very long. Europe is different.
How American are you?
Still very much American. I'm paying American taxes. All of my businesses run from America still.
But in
my heart?
Yeah.
I don't think I will go back home.
Her reasons are many and well documented over the years. There's the abusive marriage to Ike that later led her to get plastic surgery.
I have had basically my face bashed in, and I never did anything about it. And then I started to have problems with my sinuses, and I found that the whole...
You busted your nose?
Yes, many times. Damaged to a point that it started to heal, and the healing process started to interfere with the sinus. To correct it, I ended up with, I like it. I ended up with another nose.
She also liked the peace that she got through Buddhist chanting. This didn't exactly jive with her hyperactive yet still sultry stage persona, but she told 60 Minutes that's just her job.
I think people don't take singers as serious as they do actresses. Some actresses do worse things than I've ever done on stage, and they're treated with respect.
Tina Turner earned tremendous respect over a long career. Here, for 60 Minutes, she serenades Mike Wallace.
Let's stay together. Loving you well, times are good or bad.
Legends live forever.
All right.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes, brought to you by Granite Credit Union, helping members since 1935. Patience, everybody. Here's Ricky Meese.
For those traveling southbound I-15, it's kind of a mess. Bring your patience this afternoon, but you are going to see that the crash is over to the right shoulder prior to 4500 south. The northbound I-15, an accident in South Salt Lake, backing traffic to Murray. Mark?
Southbound I-15 near American Fork Main Street. KSL traffic trooper reporting a stalled truck there. It's been awfully heavy between Lehigh and Geneva Road in Utah County this afternoon on the southbound side. Northbound delays coming up as well around Pleasant Grove Boulevard. Pioneer Crossing delays continue coming from I-15 Lehigh as well. Steve?
High traffic on northbound 15 now from downtown up to the north interchange and from Farmington into Kaysville, with a 5-car crash in the mix now, thanks to a KSL traffic trooper with a heads up there. Looks like that's right there by Lagoon. Southbound 15, Roy to Sunset, you have delays, also at Hillfield Road, plus scattered delays Clearfield to Kaysville. Northbound 215 on the West Belt, got delays there and a crash at 700 North. And southbound 215 really packed in as well from 2100 North down to the I-80 ramps. It's Motorcycle Safety Month. Utah Motorcycle Training wants to remind drivers to put your cell phones down, pay attention, and remember that patience is a virtue that can save lives. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
Just like clockwork, thunderstorms have fired up again this afternoon. Temperatures have cooled into the 70s. Overnight will be in the 50s with partly cloudy skies. Back to afternoon storms on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Highs will be in the upper 70s to low 80s as we head through the weekend. Memorial Day Monday looks partly cloudy with a high of 82. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
And right now in Salt Lake City, 73 degrees. There was a meeting about the gondola in Little Cottonwood Canyon today, and some folks are furious. Stay with us.
Been a rough winter for sure, but visitors are flocking to Box Elder County. Our feathered visitors, that is. Bear River Migratory Bird Refuge is busy hosting swans to swallows and geese to grebes. This spring migration, it's in full swing, and all that's missing is you. Box Elder County, it really is for the birds. Just a short 60 minutes north of Salt Lake, Box Elder County is the perfect place to make memories and celebrate spring. Along with spending time with our feathered friends, you'll experience amazing restaurants and unique shopping. Why not come take a soak in the Crystal Hot Springs, home to the highest mineral content of any natural hot springs in the world, and just let winter melt away as you relax and rejuvenate. Take in a theater performance at one of the live theaters or visit one of the fine museums. Visitors really are chirping all about Box Elder County. Check out boxeldercounty.com and see why Box Elder County is for the birds. That's boxeldercounty.com.
With summer coming, everyone knows Memorial Day's the best time of the year to get a Bullfrog Spa. Right now, you'll save up to $5,000 off MSRP on select models, plus get a free water care upgrade and special financing for 24 months on our energy-efficient and customizable hot tubs. Sale ends Memorial Day, so don't miss out on the best deal of the year on a beautiful Bullfrog Spa. Find your nearby Bullfrog Factory store at bullfrogfactorystores.com.
Bullfrog Spas. Peaceful body, peaceful mind, peaceful home.
You get business. So when it comes to business expenses, look for the card that gets you. The Zions Bank Amazing Card for Business. Apply now for and earn $1,000 bonus cash or $100,000 bonus rewards points when you spend $5,000 in the first 120 days from account opening. Your all business card awaits. For business expenses, large or small, Zions Bank is for you. Visit online or at your local branch to get started. Subject to credit approval. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. A division of Zions Bank Corporation, NA member FDIC.
What happens if you become too ill to make medical decisions on your own? Set aside time to designate a healthcare representative who can make future medical decisions for you should you become incapacitated. Put those wishes in writing by creating an advance directive. You can find advanced directive forms in English and in Spanish at intermountainhealth.org/advanced directives, or in the Intermountain Patient Portal, My Health Plus, or on the Utah Council on Aging website. Brought to you by Intermountain Health and KSL News Radio.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon. KSL News Time 4:45. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
the Supreme Court of the United States has ruled in favor of the Idaho couple who argued for their rights to build on their private property despite the Environmental Protection Agency's claim they sat on protected wetlands. I'm KSL News Radio's Hugo Ricard-Bell.
Second, the Logan River has officially been declared a disaster area. That means all recreation on the Logan River has been banned for the next 30 days. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
Well, I-15 is jammed up. If you're going northbound, we have heavy delays from Murray up to about 2100 south. You are going to see slowdowns on the southbound side left over from an earlier crash from downtown all the way to 4500 south. And then more delays are lingering for you from Murray to Draper. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Thunderstorms firing back up this afternoon, and they'll be back tomorrow. I'm Kevin Eubanks.
73 degrees. Excuse me, we're up to 75 in Salt Lake City. It's